Hi, folks. Peter Kalos here again with your acting tip for the day. Once again, thank you for joining us. We're still in isolation here. I'm in Melbourne, Australia. I think we've been in isolation on some level for about 7 months now. It's either stage 2, stage 3, stage 4, stage God knows what. I think we've got about a month left, maybe 2, 3. I don't even know how many weeks we've got left. But it's kind of getting to everyone, right? And it brings up one big thing. People are feeling frustrated, depressed about their career. And it, especially right now, the current circumstances. Here I'm in front of a freaking pink wall again, which I never even knew existed in my house. But here it is, doing videos just to connect to humanity. That's part of the world. Before I continue, I want to make certain people understand this. I'm not a therapist. I say this a lot to my students. I'm not a therapist. I'm just a freaking acting teacher, right? We suffer a lot as artists, but also it's not just us in the artist community that suffer from depression. It happens across the world. The only difference is you don't hear about it. I Googled once, they said that the number one area of work for depression, ironically, was in the construction work, but you don't hear about it. If Joe, the carpenter feels depressed, the world doesn't hear about it. But if a famous person here is depressed, everyone hears about it. Do you know what I'm saying? It's a big deal. I remember reading, about people like, Robin Williams and what's his name? God, I forgot the name already. Terrible. You know what I'm saying? Point is that it gets us because it's news and it's worthy. But if someone at a construction site suffers from the same thing, because we don't hear about it, we assume it doesn't happen, right? It's just in our industry, it gets more attention. The other thing I want to talk to people about is this. We need to look at all the ingredients first and define things. First of all, we need to define what an actor is, because there's a lot of people in our field that already have issues with their own life. They're depressed, they're not feeling great. So somehow they think, well, if I do acting, it'll make me feel better. Quite the opposite. That's not why we do acting. So then they're putting all this pressure on the acting and the craft to make them feel better. And then they feel like shit on top of that. So if you're one of those people, do anything else. Go for a walk in the park, do anything else, but not acting. That's not why we do acting. Is acting therapeutic? Yes, it is, right? Meaning it's very cathartic to do things. I remember once Robert De Niro himself said, it's one of the few jobs you can commit murder and get away with it. And he's right. We can act out things and it feels good in that moment and then let it go with literally, no consequences, right? Now, the other thing about acting particularly is if I'm a scriptwriter and I submit a script, I'm going to pick up a script here. There's my script. And they reject my script, the negative energy goes here. If I'm a painter, they don't like my painting. There's my painting of the pink wall. The rejection lands here. It doesn't land here. With acting, they reject you. And that's what it feels like. They're not actually rejecting you. But that's what we feel like. They don't like you because you're too short, too fat, too skinny, too whatever it is. So we take it a little bit more personal as opposed to, oh, you don't like my script? That's okay. I got another one. Where with us, it's like, you don't like me? Why? So it hurts a bit more. And we have to learn to separate that. Do you know what I'm saying? Right? I get phone calls around the clock, and I mean this. I get phone calls at midnight, at 2 a.m., at 4 a.m. Some student either calling me, either they came out of a bar or they're drunk, and they call me, Peter, I love you. Peter. Peter, what's going on? Peter, I'm depressed. Yeah, I get it. We all go through it, all right? As much as I joke around, yes, it's a laugh to get those things, but then I call them up the next day and say, hey, you know what I'm saying? Don't let yourself sink so much. It's all about catching yourself and not letting yourself sink so much. I remember once at the old lab, we were in St. Kilda Road, and I was standing outside, and we just literally opened a couple of months into it, and there was a big sign saying Melbourne Actors Lab. And we were near a supermarket, and this young kid with his mother walked past and shared the trolley. And I remember, his name was Jeremy. I still remember this, God bless him. He said, Mommy, I want to be an actor. He must have been about 7, 8. And his mom said, just move on, Jeremy. That moment stayed with me. I thought, here it is. The moment we voice it, the moment we say, this is what I want to do with my life, automatically rejection starts jumping at you. Automatically. That kid could have said anything else and the mother would have been supportive. Mom, I want to be a surgeon. Mom, I want to be a doctor, a lawyer, accountant. The mother would go, good. Let's take you to the best school. But the moment you say art, the parents, and I'm a parent of 3 kids, I don't know how it functions like that. The moment you say anything creative, the parents start to think, how's the kid going to make a living? How's the kid going to survive? Blah, 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 blah. All the negative thoughts. So they try and be supportive, but they're also trying to steer you away from it. That's the parents' job. That's what they do. Yes, they support you. Yes, they want you to do it, but secretly, they'd love the day when you go, Mom, I'm done, and they call it a phase. Why that's important to know is automatically the moment you voice it, negative attention starts to go your way. And you've got to toughen up and fight that. You've got to wake up and go, I can do this. The other thing we need to do is keep your goals realistic. We all want to have that big house in Beverly Hills, and we all have this image of the success and the fame, and you're going to come out of a limo, and everyone's going to look at you and know your name, and the cameras will go, yeah, great. That happens. But it's not the reality of our work. I'm not saying you can't do it. I want you to understand the difference. I'm saying if that's what your image is, if that's what you're aiming for, you will not succeed. That's not what it's about. That's the byproduct of our work. We do this because we like and love the work. That's the reward. And you've got to learn to fall in love with it. I remember there's a great story of, what's his name? God damn it, names are falling apart. Dustin Hoffman and Jesus. I can visualize him now. God damn it. Laurence Olivier, that's right. They were in the Marathon Man, and someone, they were talking about why we act. And Laurence Olivier, asked Dustin Hoffman, and Dustin Hoffman went on and on about the creative shit. And Laurence Olivier said, cut the crap. Here's why we act. Me, 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 me. Meaning, there is a side of us that does enjoy that. And there's nothing wrong with that. I always tell people you need to have a healthy ego on the red carpet, not at work. Yes, we all like to be liked. Yes, we all like to be famous. Yes, we all like to be, had the attention to. But that's on the red carpet. Great, if you get there. We want our product to be good. Great. Not on the set. Don't walk around with an ego on the set. That's not what it's about, right? So while we have that side of us, and it's needed, because you've got to learn to stand up. Got me? I want you all, very, very slowly now, right, to start looking at these things and start making small changes. And these rewards are small. The first thing you've got to start is by what I just said. Our rewards are small. It's small grains of rice that fill up a whole sack. It's little rewards that keep us going. And if you can learn to feed them and go, right now, this little reward, if I let this little reward nurture, I will get to here. If I shit on this little reward, because I go, well, that's all there is, I just went a step down. So start to appreciate the little rewards. First of all, you're one of the few people in the entire world that actually voiced what they want to do. Don't take that lightly. Easily 80 to 90% of the world doesn't get that opportunity. They don't even know what the fuck they want to do. So here you go and you say, I want to do this with my life. Big plus. Massive. Own it. Wake up every day and say, this is what I want to do with my life. I'm okay if you put that on your fridge. And I say that because I've been, without naming, I've been in quite a few, let's call them famous people's houses. And to my surprise, I saw things like that on their fridge. I can do this. One of them have, they like me. I can do this. Keep going. You matter. I remember Sally Fields, when she received an Academy Award, she said that you like me, you actually like me. That was an insight into her own thing. We want approval. And the reason why we want so approval, not because out of ego, because once again, take it back to the very first step. The moment you opened it, we start facing rejection. We have an uphill of rejection, which most jobs don't have. So you've already got to start to balance the scale of all the negative shit you're going to get to start adding a few more positive things, and the small things. One, you know what you want. Two, you're capable. Most of us have a functioning body. We do, right? You're capable. And the other thing you need to add to that whole belief, and I want you to really own this, you can do it. We have a voice in here that says, no, you can't do it. No, you didn't go to the right acting teacher. No, you're not in the right city. No, you're nah. And this constantly bombards us. So then the positive voice appears and says, you can do it. It's 1 to 10. And you need to heighten the positive voice. You can do this. You're capable, just as capable as the other person in the room, if not more. And that doesn't mean I'm negative now towards other actors. I need you to believe in yourself. If you don't believe in yourself, it ain't going to happen. There's a wonderful saying, if you think you can, you can. If you think you can't, you can't. And I used to be the kind of actor that used to go in a room and go, hire him. I'm not kidding you, right? I'm also not the kind of teacher that bullshits people, because we don't want that either. Stella Adler was absolutely ruthless. One of my other favorite teachers was a guy named Mark Marno. Ruthless. He would scream at you and yell at you, but he would do it with support. And the support came in, blah, 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 blah. But do this. Take this small step forward. And that's what Stella was like, where, you know, be aware of acting teachers that just bulldoze you and yell at you, make you feel like shit, and then leave you out there. Right? So, now, the other thing we have, unfortunately, is apart from unpractical expectations, we have too much time that we waste when it comes to our craft. When you go to your 9-to-5 job or equivalent, you finish your job and you feel like, I finished. I put in my hours for the week. I'm done. You feel a sense of pride in that. Now I'll attend to my acting. And you spend a couple of hours, 3-4 hours, maybe a week. And I tell people, well, no wonder you're feeling like shit. You're not investing as much time, and it's needed. You're not. So then you feel like shit. You go, this career isn't happening. Well, what are you doing to make it happen? So here are some suggestions I have for all of you. First of all, remember, it's not you they're rejecting. I've been in quite a few casting agents' office, and when you hear why the character or the person doesn't get the role, most times it's not because of their acting. If you weren't a good actor, you wouldn't even be in the room. Remember that. They want you to succeed. That's why they invited you in the room, right? It's because the other person next to you or the other person you're playing, maybe you don't look alike, or maybe that last minute, nothing to do with you, they decided to go another way, which is true, it happens. They're molding this as they go. They have a vision, they bring in 50 people, they don't quite get to connect to that vision, but they go that most people land over here, so then we'll change over here, or we'll go this way. It's not always you, right? Also, for the most part, most of you don't do this enough. If you were auditioning 5 times a day and you got rejected 4 times a day, you build tough skin. If you audition once a month and you put so much pressure and unexpected realities, okay, I'm going to get this role, and tomorrow I'm going to be the lead in a Marty Scorsese film, and then I'm going to get it. Yeah, bullshit. No, it's a role in a film. If you get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't. Robert De Niro once said, go in the audition room as if you've already lost the role. Very interesting. It doesn't mean I do nothing. I'm doing this now just for me to explore this character and these lines. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. That's it. I'm not doing it Get it, get it, get it. It's going to change your life. No. No one can survive that kind of onslaught of pressure. Just walk in there. Do you know what I'm saying? All right? Take that pressure off. Okay? Now, the other thing is try to find things that you are in control of. As I've said in the past, I'm not in control of what film, Paramount Studios will be doing next year. So what am I in control of? Little things. I'm in control of a short film I can make, as I've said in the past many, many, many times. All right? You're only in control of your own career and the things you can do. Tyler Perry's my idol. Love the guy to death. He said, screw you to the industry, but he carved his own path. Don't just say, screw you to the industry. I'll show you. Then show them. Your stories matter. This is the other thing I want you to stick on your fridge. We all have visions of a story. We see things. I remember as a very young person once, I was in a car with my uncle. I still remember this. And a guy in front of me was sitting in the back of a truck. And I looked at his face and I could see a whole life in his face. An older guy go, wow, that guy's lived. And in my mind, I started making a story of his whole life. That's what we do as artists. We see things and they feed visions. Those visions are golden. And here's why we're here. If you don't nurture them, if you don't put a voice behind them, if you don't marry them to a craft, whether it's a film, a painting or whatever, we're actors and directors and storytellers, if you don't give them that vehicle, they're going to be lost. And you don't know the importance of that story. It's not about you now. It's not about your ego. It's about your vision, your storytelling. And it matters. So at least fight for that. You have to believe in your story. Way above you, the story matters. So put all your energy into that. That's important. The other thing that happens is, and this is why I tell people, be realistic. We have a story, we have a craft, we have something, and people give it half an hour. It's not working. I can't do this. You gave it half an hour. I want you to understand this, and please understand, I'm not here to sell anyone classes or any shit like that. But if I wanted to become a doctor, I'd have to go study for a good 10 years. If I wanted to become anything, I'd have to go study for years to master it. Give this years. And people tell me, I've been giving this for years. And I go, no, wait a minute. How many hours a week have you genuinely been giving it? Because everyone can say, I've been doing it for 10 years. Yeah, 10 years at 1 hour a month doesn't equate to 10 years. I can't go to Melbourne Uni tomorrow and say, I want to become a doctor. I'm going to turn up once a week for 1 hour. They're going to go piss off. Rightfully so. Right? I was going to say fuck off, but I don't think I can swear in these things. But anyway, you know what I'm saying? The point is this. You need to start giving it the work that it requires. So what I expect you to do now is, first of all, realize it's not you. I'll make a little list here. Secondly, start surrounding yourself with positive people. You're always, and it happens to me, here I am in my early 50s, it still happens. Every now and then, people that are close to me and you love and support, and they kind of throw it in there. And you go, shit, I thought you were in my corner. First of all, you need to be in your corner. If you're not in your own corner, it's over. So you need to learn how to boost your own energy and excitement for your own work. That's a self-discipline thing. Put on music, watch films, put on notes on your fridge or wherever you want to put them, burn incense, do whatever you have to, right? That's important. Secondly, have a small group of people that you can count on your fingers, that you trust, and you go, hey, look at this. So you start to expose the weaknesses of your work. And they give you constructive criticism. Constructive criticism. There's a famous person, I'm not saying who it is, but once he asked me about his work, and I said this and this, and he goes, thanks, my mother could have told me the same thing. I said, what do you mean? He goes, don't just say I like it. That's being polite. Tell me what you like, why, and what you don't like. That's called constructive criticism. And a lot of people have a big ego and they don't let that in. That's our work, man. You're going to be open to showing your pluses and minuses and going up to people you trust, say, what do you think of this? And then they say, I think this, here's why. I think that, here's why. Because then I can do something with that. To have someone say, I like it, yeah. What do you mean you like it? What do you like? What needs work? What doesn't? That's called constructive criticism. And you learn not to be a critic also. We also have to give constructive criticism to other people. And there's a lot of critics out there. They write for papers and shit. Most of them, I think, are shit. At least 90%. They don't have constructive criticism. They don't have the know-how. They just know what they like. One of the best critics, and find his stuff online, Harold Clurman, for theater. I want you all to Google Harold Clurman talking about theater. It'll inspire you. He's critical, but inspiring at the same time. So start to get your team of people around you of support and learn to talk to each other without putting each other down. I think this character, this word, even those little things help. Okay? The other thing you need to do is make your expectation real. Yes, we all have this big dream of coming up here, but right now, today, this is my reward, and don't shit on it. That's all you get for a reward. Half a page, you learned a line, you read a play, you did something for your craft today. That matters. That's going to build up and feed everything else. Like I said earlier, if you shit on that, it's gone. And the negative voices will kick in and shit all over you. The other thing that matters, have a goddamn schedule. Hold yourself accountable. Nothing trumps doing a day's worth of work. You feel good. It's very hard to say, I'm an actor, and then there's a voice inside your head go, yeah, but I'm not doing my best. I'm not working at my peak. So now the negative voice goes, yeah, you're shit, you're no good, you're lazy, you're not talented, and it's going to win. Where if you go, I'm an actor, I've done an hour or two worth of work today, I actually have done it, and I feel good about myself. That voice starts to have a voice. You'll never shut the other one down. Don't fight it. Work on this one. And the other thing, and I'm almost done, learn to have hours and times that you work, and learn to have hours and times that you don't. You can't constantly be doing this. Agree between now and the next 3 hours, I'm done with acting. I'm done with my craft. If you get an idea, write it down, put it away. But be in your life in that moment. I want you to still have a life and an artist, because it's important. See, if you're present in your life with your loved ones, with your spouses, with your kids, then you'll be present in your art. If you're not present there because you're going, I can't spend my time with this person, with my wife and kids and stuff, because I should be working, then when you're working, you won't actually work either. So allocate your time and give it all when you're working, and then allocate your time and give it all to be present. One feeds the other. They actually work together. That's a big part. And no matter what, above everything, every goddamn day you look in the mirror and you say, I can do this on some level. I might not be in the limo in Beverly Hills, but I can do it. Today I won. Today I wrote. Today I created. Today I found a little loophole, a little nugget. And that's all we're fighting about, because it's a privilege, it's a gift to be able to know what you want to do with your life and to actually do it. And don't let anyone take that away from you. That's the biggest gift you can give to yourself, and it's a battle. It's a battle for the rest of your life. Let's be honest, I'm not kidding you. To this day, my mom goes, don't you think you could have done something? No, I don't give a shit about doing anything else with my life. I'm happy with this. You got me? That's what you need to change up here. Start slowly. Make a plan. Make a plan and stick to it. And all the negative stuff, use it. I can use it in my craft. I can use it in my expression. I can use it because that revenge mode will feed something. Yesterday we had an online class. Monday nights, join us. There's my selling point, right? Method 2.0, you know what I'm saying? Point is this, we had a class and I told people, I want you to do this monologue. Out of the class, 7 people texted me, emailed me, wrote me a letter, something. Peter, I can't do class. I got a headache. My cat died and the dog this. That needs to pray. Yeah, great. Excuses. Don't give yourself an out. Hold yourself accountable. Get up every day. Do work. Support yourself, positive people. Watch films that inspire you. Put music on that inspires you. But all that inspiration has to translate into work. If it doesn't translate into work, you're going to feel depressed again. Because you're going to go, I got all the creative juices doing and I got all the music and inspiration and I did nothing. That's where it starts to seep in. Fight it. It's worth it. You'll feel good about yourself. Take care of you. Take care of your craft. They matter. See you again.